Open up your brown book, baby. It's for you, it's for us. The fantasies, no one can judge us, no one can judge us. This is for us. Open up your brown book, baby. It's for you.
Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Shay Baby, and welcome to the Brown Book series. Tonight we have an awesome lady that's blessing us tonight. Yo, she go by like 9, 10 different names, right? Like she write under every subgenre. She said, "I'm about to get all the coins. I'm writing on everything. Paranormal, yeah, I got you. I got a name for that. Sweet romance, I got you. I got a name for that." And yo, all of them are here with us tonight. So go get your friend, grab something to drink on, and come right back with me, an award-winning author, AC Author.
Brown Book Series presents Raw Romance Readers and Writers Experience. Save the date, October 28th and 29th, 2022. Brown Book Series presents Raw Romance Readers and Writers Experience, October 28th and 29th, 2022 at the Westin Old Town, Alexandria, featuring some of your favorite romance authors: Brenda Jackson, Beverly Jenkins, Iris Boland, Deborah Fletcher Mello, and so much more. The Raw experience will include book signings, meet and greet, photo ops, vendors, shopping, surprise celebrity guests, and live performances. Registration is wide open at brownbookseries.com. Save the date, October 28th and 29th, 2022. Brown Book Series presents Raw Experience.
Hey y'all, hey, welcome back. Y'all got your drinks, you got your friends, y'all ready? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you award-winning author, Miss AC Author. Hi.
Hey,
Hi. How you doing, girl?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm better now. I get a chance to meet the legendary author.
I don't know about legendary, but
Oh, girl, you're legendary in my mind because for like I don't know a couple years, I'm like, which one? I don't know.
you don't know which one you getting.
I didn't know which one I was getting because I was like, okay, which one is her for real? And so I don't care. I like all of them. They all cool. They all cool.
Well, it's a little bit of me in all of them.
Okay. I can see that. You know, now
Yeah.
talking to you a little bit. I mean, you got a little, you know,
Look,
all of them.
I'll be trying to keep it in, but you know, sometimes it seeps out.
Yeah, listen, let it seep out. I don't even try to keep mine in. Yeah, you know, the people be like, "Shay, can you keep a little bit of it in?" I'm just like, I just can't.
Well, you know, I gotta wear all these different hats, so
I see, and we're going to talk about all.
together.
Yes, we're going to talk about all those hats. AC, tell us a little bit about you outside the literary world. We're gonna get into that. So, what is the day in the life of Miss AC Author?
Oh my gosh, it's so hectic.
I know.
It's so hectic. So I have a whole day job, full time day job, where I work at a courthouse. So I have to do that. Um, I have 3 children. They're grown, but you know, kids are never really grown, so
Ever.
not necessarily grown. 2 grandchildren and my very mean English
Wait,
boy.
hold on. AC, you're a grandma.
Absolutely, I'm a nana. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Oh my God, you look so young to be a
Oh, thank
nana.
you, girl. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
I
okay.
have a
Carry
3-year-old
on.
grandson and a 2-year-old granddaughter.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. I had my kids early, and I'm glad that my children are having their kids early. Not early as in too early, but early so that I can enjoy them. Because I can't be, you know, trying to enjoy people when I'm, you know, 70, 80 years old. I'm be just living in my limelight at that time. So
How about that?
I'm glad I'm glad they're here now and I can be, you know, moving around with them and going out with them and enjoying them all the time.
I absolutely love that. Now, AC, you live in Baltimore. Are you from Maryland?
Absolutely. I was born in Baltimore. I actually live right outside of Baltimore, but I was born here. I've been here all my life. I was in North Carolina over the weekend, and my husband was like, "What if we move down here after we retire?" And I was like, "Oh, think I can function anywhere else but here. I mean, I can visit, but like if I could be somewhere and about day 3, I'm like, no, it's time to go home. Like this is what I know, so it's time for me to go back home.
No, so you don't ever want to leave like outside? Okay, what if not North Carolina, like Georgia, Florida, somewhere south maybe?
It's not. I don't. I always joke and say, I can write from anywhere. So really, I could move anywhere. But I don't really have the urge. Like I don't have that. Oh, I'm waiting for us to retire so we can move to an island or move here. And
Gotcha.
it's like learning all new stuff. And I'm a homebody and I'm used to what I have. Like I don't know if I want to go and learn a whole new thing.
AC, you learned a whole new subgenre. What are you talking about? You research for a living. You learn new things for a living.
That's not the same. That's temporary.
You just
That's
don't want to go.
temporary stuff. If I move somewhere, like I have to remember stuff. Look, I'm just getting used to getting myself around Baltimore. Like you move me to another state, I'll be lost for days.
Hilarious. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So she's like, I'm in Baltimore. I ain't going nowhere. Sorry. Baltimore bread, Baltimore dead. I'm with you, baby.
I'm here.
Hey, that's what's up. So, AC, are you traditionally published or indie?
So I'm a hybrid author, meaning that I am traditionally published and I do indie publishing.
Okay, which do you prefer?
I actually prefer traditional publishing.
Okay.
Because despite the fact that I can be super controlling, I really don't like wearing all the hats all the time. It's a lot. It's pretty stressful. There's a freedom there, but it's pretty stressful. It is not my preference. I feel like I've gotten used to it, but I would absolutely prefer traditionally published.
Okay, I understand that. Now, how hard was it for you to get published?
So really, I hear stories all the time about how long it takes people to get traditionally published, and
Right.
I was by no means an overnight traditionally published, but I didn't really go through the submission process for years and years. I want to say I didn't really start to take it seriously until maybe a year after I had been submitting, and I was actually submitting to agents first before I tried publishers, and then it kind of happened. It kind of happened quickly after that, and I signed with a publisher. It wasn't a great deal. I don't. Sometimes people's first deal is not a great deal, but and then from there it was like a build. I know sometimes people think as soon as you get the contract, it's like, yeah, you're rich and you're gonna be famous and all, and it's so not that. It took a long time, a lot of books, a lot of just hitting the streets, just getting out there and meeting readers and selling my books, telling them about my books, which actually I didn't do. My husband did that, but just like getting out there. And I really do believe that being out there and being face to face with readers
Right.
helped me grow probably a little faster than I think I would have if I didn't get out and meet readers.
That makes sense. Now, speaking of getting out and meeting readers, tell us a little bit about the One Love reunion.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the One Love.
Yeah, first of all, let's just say I saw the pictures and stuff from the one, and I'm like, I'm so super mad that I wasn't able to make it, but baby, I'm gonna be at next one, y'all, because I was like, oh, they having fun. Shit.
It is fun. It is fun, and that's kind of how we came to the name. So I started doing events about 7-8 years ago, and they started really, really small. Like my first event was only 40 people because I was scared nobody was gonna come. I was like, nobody coming to see me. Why would people pay money to come see me? So I didn't want it to be open wide and I get my feelings all hurt. So I just had 40 people at the first one, and then I had a whole lot of people that were like, oh, we didn't get a chance to come because you only had 40 people. So, we really want to come. And so the next one was bigger. But what I learned from that second one was that people really just wanted to come and just talk about books. And that's what we did. It was the Donovan reunion, and that's one of my biggest series. And they really were just there talking about the Donovans like they were their family. Like we were like at a whole reunion talking about these characters. And my father even said, these women act like they know these people. And like, well, some of them know these people better than I do. So and so every event I had after that was kind of like a separate theme event and in different places. But I wanted to bring it all together under one common theme. And when I sat and thought about what that common theme was, I thought it was, our one love for books, but it always felt like a reunion. Like it doesn't, it has a format of a conference now, but it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like we're there working. We're just there having fun and talking about books and dressing up and going to parties. And so it's a really good time. I'm really happy with it.
That's what's up. Okay, yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh man, I gotta come to the One Love reunion.
You do. Come on and join us.
I'm joining y'all next year, man. I'm gonna join y'all. Do you know where you guys will be next year?
We will be in Denver,
Oh,
July
baby.
20th through 24th of 2022.
I'm coming, man. I'm coming.
All are welcome. All are welcome.
Yes, I appreciate that. I'm going up there and see what y'all doing, honey, see what the theme is, so I can get my dance on, honey. Get my dance.
You ready to party already? See, you skipping over all the book stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
But it's all right. It's all right. We'll let you party. It's okay.
Let me party. I'm gonna look at some books. Look, I'm gonna look at some books. I'm gonna read some
look
books.
at some books.
Hey, I done read all of them. I'm gonna read some books or look at some books. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get my party on. I'm gonna be like, hey, right. I'll be over here. You call me if you need me. I'm right.
And bring your little pennies. I tell everybody that's coming, bring your little pennies to support all the authors that are there. I don't want any authors to be sitting there and go home with all the books that they come with. So when you come, you make sure you're prepared to support all the authors there.
Exactly. That's what we do. We support authors, honey, because we love everything you guys write. And then you have let me see how I'm gonna say this.
You just gonna say it.
You know me. I'm so happy you know me, girl. You have the authors there that everybody want to see, so it's easy.
You know what? What I try to do is have authors that I know, like you said, that I know people want to see.
Yeah.
And I also try to have authors that may not be as seen as other authors are.
But they write good books.
We all
you ain't had no
we all get into our favorite authors, and we have our auto-buy authors. And they are authors that, we're diehard. Wherever they are, we're going to try and go see them.
Right.
But then there are authors who don't get that same type of love, who don't get that same type of attention. And I remember when I was in that boat. And so I always want to try and have authors who can use a little more exposure. And I like to introduce them to people who I know are reading my books, people who I know like books. I like to look for authors who will have books that I think people enjoy. A lot of times I invite authors and they don't come, but I'll be trying to, let everybody know about y'all. And I'll still, I still say, hey, you want to have an ad in the booklet. I'm always trying to spread the love and share authors with everybody.
That's what's up. All right, I'm with that. I love that. I love other authors who have made it, or or a certain caliber. Reach down and be like, "Hey, come on up here. Let me show you how to do this." And and hey, if you invite them, if they don't want to, you got to promote yourself. Your biggest cheerleader is yourself. So
right.
Right.
And I know sometimes people don't know that. I remember when I first started out, there was so much about the industry that I didn't know. Yeah. And I didn't know things that were important that I wouldn't do. And when I look back now, I'm like, yeah, I probably should have did this. I probably should have did that. And so I always felt like I wish there was somebody that I could have asked about this, or somebody that could have offered me a little advice. And over time, I did meet people. I met Brenda Jackson, and I met Miss Beth Jenkins, and they were so good in sharing all the knowledge that they had. And I knew that if I was ever in a position that I had a little bit of knowledge, I absolutely wanted to be able to share, because it's not easy. It's not easy getting into the industry and you're just maneuvering around the industry. It's not easy.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys go check out the One Love reunion, because next year I'm going to be there. Me and I'm having my coins with me. We're gonna be there in Colorado. You know,
She's gonna be at the party.
I'm gonna be at the party in AC. I know she has everything on her website too, so you can go check that out when we finish. Okay. Speaking of your books and the love of it, it brings us to the first segment here, the Brown Book series called Name That Book. What we say?
Now I'm nervous. I feel like it's a test.
Don't be nervous, girl. Don't be nervous. Well, we give you a synopsis, a character, and the character will be the main character because you have a lot of series, or something related to one of your books, and you have to name that book.
I'm gonna rewind back to when I just said readers tend to know my books better than I do.
Well, check this out. You still gotta play this game.
I'm gonna play the game.
You gotta play the game. Don't be trying to get up out of it.
I'm not. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna play it.
Be good.
But if I lose, I'm gonna be mad. But I'm.
You'll be all right. I'll buy you something at the reunion next year. If you lose, make you feel better. Okay. All right. Name that book. 500 cupcakes in 50 minutes.
Oh my gosh. Decadent Dreams.
Decadent Dreams.
That's the only one I wrote about a bakery. That's
right. And you finna see, you did good. You're doing good. All right. Next up, this is the character, but remember, it's the main character of that book.
Okay.
She like, oh, that's a hug. Character Keith Page.
Office Policy.
Office Policy. Hey, Steve, girl, you doing great.
I was getting ready to say you giving me easy ones, but I'm not even going to say that because the next one might be something. So
you know what? I'm telling you, you're going to get all these. All right, this one's easy too. Name that book. Lincoln can't believe it. That beautiful babe who owes his casino $5,000 is Jade.
Love Me Carefully. I meant Love Me Like No Other. Look at you trying to trip me up.
I didn't do it.
Trying to trip me up.
Listen, I got you back. I was like, almost there. You see, Love Me Like No Other.
I got it. I fixed it.
You fixed it. You did good, honey. You did good. All right. Name that book. If the feelings come back, is it possible they never left? The feelings came back. Second chance love. Is it possible that they never left?
Back to Love.
Back to Love.
Don't be trying to give me a new book. You gotta go all the way back 10, 15 years and then give me this new book. Throw me all off. You're trying to trick me.
Listen, I'm telling you.
I knew it. I was just sitting here waiting for the trick.
And it showed up. See?
It did. Without fail.
Back to Love was your latest. Well, it came out before. Okay. Back to Love came out this year. We'll say that.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about Back to Love?
So Back to Love is my ode to Fixer Upper. Mm-hmm. Remember that show that was on HGTV?
Yeah. I like that show.
Fixer Upper. And it had, it was, I want to say it was Nashville. And they used to be boyfriend and girlfriend. The host used to be boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah. And when they first started showing the commercials for the show, they were like, oh, and how are these exes fixing houses together? It's like, And so I watched it, not just because they were black, but because they were exes too. I was like, oh, it's about to be some drama on here. And I remember the first time I live tweeted with the show, and I purposely didn't use the hashtag for this comment because I was like, I'm just wondering if there's some more drama that they're not showing or something like that. Right. And the girl from the show saw the tweet.
Oh.
And she replied. And I was like, I purposely didn't use that hashtag because I didn't want them to see it. But she was really nice. It was really cool. But I like that whole idea of how exes could work together, and
Right.
what if they, through working together, they found out that they were really still in love. And so when I had the opportunity to write this novella, I knew that was what I wanted to do. As I wanted to have these two fixing up a house and returning back to the love that they had when they were teenagers.
I love that. Now you got me thinking about the show Fixer Upper. How long did that stay on? Because it's like I watched
It wasn't long. I want to say a season.
Yeah, I watched that first one.
It might have been a season and a half, but I think it was just one season.
Yeah, because you better than me, because I was trying to figure out how they even was together, because he was got on my nerves. Anyway,
yeah,
all right, so,
it was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah, he was a lot. And she was so cool. She was kind of like, the realtor doing her thing, but he got on my nerves. I was like, yeah, I would have broke up with him too. All right, last up, name that book. His ass can kick rocks or die. I'd prefer the latter.
The After Party.
The After Party. Your new release, or your latest release, is
my latest
release. The After Party.
Yeah.
AC.
Yes, ma'am.
What the hell? This book reminds me, what's the name of, is it Bad Bosses? Huh?
Well, my inspiration for it was 9 to 5.
Okay, 9 to 5. Horrible Bosses. That's what it was. Yes. I was like, AC ass, oh Jesus. So, can you tell us a little bit about the After Party?
So, the After Party is about 3 co-workers who really weren't friends. They really were just co-workers. And the one thing they had in common was that they did not like their boss because he was crappy. And so they would sit together at lunch and talk about their crappy boss. And so they're at the office, the office Christmas party, and doing what they do at lunch, talking about their crappy boss. And he proceeds to be even more crappy while they're at the party. And then they get drunk, they get a little high, and they start to toy with the idea of, well, how should he die? Because we already know he should die. That's like a common thing. They all share that he should die. Right. But how should he die? And so they each have, a scenario of how they feel like he should die. And the next day he's dead. And they find the body. And now they're going to be suspects because they found the body and they left the body. And so throughout the book, they have to stick together. They choose to stick together and not call the police. And I know a lot of people are like, really, you could fix all this if you call the police. But there are always circumstances why people do what they do. I know sometimes I watch the news and I'm like, you like the dumbest criminal. Like, you could have just did this or you could have just did that. And I don't think we always take into consideration that people have thoughts about why they don't just do the right thing. And so they had thoughts about why they weren't going to call the police. And they go through the book and like, oh, eventually they're like, well, maybe we just need to find out who the killer is so we can stop running around being suspects. And throughout this, their goal is just to stay out of jail. And none of them really realize that they're really building this friendship. And so what I really want to take away from the book to be is this sisterhood, this Black female bonding that is so crucial, I think, to Black women, is to have somebody that you can lean on, that you can trust, that's going to have your back. Right. And so these 3 figure this out. They build this bond and they stick together. When at any moment, any of them could have decided to just go to the police. But they didn't. They all just stuck together. And so that's what I really want the takeaway from the book to be, is about this lasting friendship.
I absolutely love that. Now, who came up with the name The After Party?
I did.
Okay, why the
after? Well, I just didn't know what else to call it. I was like, all this happens
AC
after the party. Like, they were at the party and all this happens after the party. I really hate coming up with titles. And when I was writing this proposal, it was like, well, just put a title on here and then just write all the other stuff. And sometimes I'll do that. I have a title like a placeholder. And then I'll write, and maybe somewhere along the line in the middle of the book or something, something will happen and I'll say, oh, no, the title should be this. but the title just never changed for this. It just kind of just stayed there. And then when Montlake bought the book, there's always a possibility that a publisher will say, no, this isn't going to work. Marketing doesn't think this will work. Let's change it. But they didn't. And so here we are with the after party.
I absolutely love that. Well, we have the book trailer here for the after party. You guys take a look. All right, we're back with AC Author. You just saw the book trailer for the after party. The cover of the book. Who illustrated that? Like, that's a hot ass cover.
Rochelle Chase is the illustrator.
Okay.
She's done several covers. The first cover that comes to mind is Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. She did the cover, and I actually love that cover. And so when my editor said, you know, we're thinking about getting Rochelle Chase, and I was like, oh, I know her. I know, I knew her personally. I was like, oh yeah, I know her. Just because I had already seen that cover and I had liked it before. And so yeah, I think she did a really, really good job. Like, I sent her my inspiration pictures from my Pinterest board, and she did it perfectly. Like, they are Venus, Drea, and Jackie.
Yes.
110% they are Venus, Drea, and Jackie.
I love it. And I was looking at their names. I was like, Jackie, yeah, but the Venus and the Drea. I was like, okay, see. So what was the inspiration behind the name of your characters?
So in the movie 9 to 5, each character had the same first initial. Violet, Dorley, and now I just forgot her name that quick. It's the J. It's the J. I just forgot her name that quick. And so I knew I wanted to keep that. I knew I wanted to keep the initials. Venus, I actually worked with a girl named Venus years and years ago. And so I always meant to have a character named Venus. Okay. Drea came from, I actually did a poll on my AC's book lounge on Facebook. And I was like, hey, you know, I need a name that starts with a D. You know, come on, give me some names. And all day they were just like giving me names and names and names. And somebody gave Drea. Actually, they said Drea a couple times, but it was spelled all different ways.
Okay. And
I was like, yeah, that's it. Because a lot of people have said it. And so now I just needed to pick how it was going to be spelled. And Jackie, I just was like, oh, Jackie sounds cute.
Jackie does sound cute.
Yeah, my camera just left me.
It's okay.
I just figured Jackie was cute.
All right, cool. I love it. Now, speaking of cute, it brings us to the next segment here in the Brown Book series called Who'd You Rather? Well, we take the heroes from a few of your books. We pit them against each other, and you let us know who you want to knock down, who you want to spend the night with. No marriage.
See,
one night long only, baby. We didn't quit it. Yes, chopper style. Yes,
it's a lot.
It's a lot. Yes. Well, you gotta tell us which.
I think you should have warned me.
Scott, hold on, one moment, y'all. Y'all wait a minute. Let me warn AC. Hold on. AC, it's gonna be a lot. Okay, I'll be back.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, I got you back, girl. All right, so we're gonna give you the characters. One night only. That's it. You let us know. Yeah,
Okay.
honey, who you want to give you a lot?
Okay.
All right, first up, who'd you rather? Maurice Gold or Major? Ooh, ba 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 ba, baby. Oh, you gonna hate me
I'm
in a
gonna go with
minute.
Major.
You
I'm
going with
gonna go with
Major?
Major. Yeah.
Okay, why Major?
He's more my speed. Maurice was a little over the top for me. Like he was a little much for me.
Okay.
Sometimes I write these heroes and I'm like, yeah, I would never date you. Like you would never get it. Like you, let's be real clear here. She might like you, but this is so not for me.
Right.
So yeah, I'm more Major.
Okay, more Major. Okay. Next up, who'd you rather? Christian DeSantis or Roland?
See, this is another situation where one is just so much.
Mhm.
Rolling is just not my speed. I would be more Christian.
More Christian. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go with Christian. Okay. See, you're doing great with this. It wasn't a lot. You know what I'm saying? It was good. All right. Next up. I had a problem with these two because I was like, I don't know which one I rather. Who'd you rather?
Ooh.
Jason Carrington or Jackson?
Yeah, I'm going. Look, I'm always choosing a nicer brother. I'm going with Jason because Jackson, that whole club and being in the sex club, he was just look.
I'm just saying, I'm like the sex club. He gonna do me right. He gonna
He
make sure
about
I
to
don't.
have me tied up and swinging from the ceiling and some.
Yes,
No,
I'm talking
no,
about
I'm
from the
good.
chandelier. What's
No,
say?
no,
I
I'm
got
good.
to swing from the chandeliers.
I'm good. I'm good.
You good?
I'm gonna stick with Jason,
All right.
who like eating the watermelon.
You
I'm
see
with
it?
Jason.
All right. Last up, who'd you rather?
Oh,
Dane or Rourke? I love his name. Rourke.
this is tough.
Mm-hmm.
This is tough. I think Rourke.
Okay.
I think Rourke.
Now,
Dane is a little ruthless. Plus, I'm always afraid that Dane is gonna show up and have his mother's tendencies, and
you know
I'd be
what?
all scared. He might, start killing people. So I'm gonna go with Rourke.
After y'all sleep together, he's like, I'm gonna choke you out now.
Right. Like
Yeah.
I'm saying, because it's in the blood. Like he might have inherited something.
You know what? I listen. I understand.
He
I
might.
went with that.
And he might not. But in the back of my mind, I would be like, I don't know. I better make sure it's good because
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I went with Dane. I'm gonna tire him out. When he gets finished, he gonna give me all his weapons. Like, here, babe. I'm going with Dane.
Okay.
Look, all right, see, that was easy. That wasn't even a lot. You know what I'm saying?
No, it wasn't. That was
Exactly. Tell me you sorry. It wasn't even a lot. Okay.
I'm sorry. It wasn't.
All right. Okay, cool.
But
All right,
don't
now
come back with nothing that is a lie.
see, now we got to end the interview. I just saying.
I'm just saying. I don't want to say that and then you again trip me up.
I'm not gonna trip you up. I'm gonna be good this time.
Okay.
Only because it's your first time here on the show, but next time
I should be prepared. Okay.
Oh, it's gonna be so on. I'm talking about it's gonna be so you're gonna be like that damn Shay, and I love it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so you are writing as a few people. So let's talk about them.
Okay.
You are writing as AC Arthur, Lacey Baker, artist Arthur, and Sapphire Blue. But
So I don't write Sapphire Blue anymore.
yeah, Sapphire Blue, you got rid of her, honey.
Well, she just merged with AC. Like she was just like at some point AC was just like just write it all. Just write it all and don't hold anything back. Just write it all. So she kind of just merged with her. As artist Arthur, I wrote young adult.
Okay.
So that was for the teenagers.
Are you still writing young adult?
No. Okay. I just did that one series. And actually I really did just do that for my daughter because she was so in love with the Twilight series.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, I can do a Twilight series.
Yes, mama, yes.
So I wrote that for her. And I didn't want teenagers, even though I know they know more about sex than I do. but I didn't want them to pick up. I didn't want these books to have AC Author on it, and then they pick up all of AC Author books. I wanted to have some separation for them. I
Right.
don't want to traumatize nobody. And I get a lot of, I still get a lot of emails, and people are like, "Oh, can my 13-year-old read this book? There's no sex in it. There's no cussing in it, right?" Because there are still parents that are concerned about that, and so I feel good in being able to say, "No, it's good. They can read it." But make sure they're only reading artist author. Don't venture over in the AC territory.
What's up with the name? Artist author.
Oh, that's my real name.
Your real name is Artist?
Mm-hmm.
That's so freaking cool.
Yep, that is my real name.
Oh man, I am tripping right now. That is so hot.
Mm-hmm. When I got my first book deal, the first book, but they sent me the first cover, it had artist author as the author. And I kept looking at it and I was like, they're going to think I'm a guy. Because I get that all the time. And so I didn't want people to immediately look at it and be like, oh yeah, that's a male author. So I said, just use my initials. And so when I got the books and my father saw it and he was like, why don't you have your real name on here? And I said the same thing, because they're going to think I'm a guy. He said, well, what you think they're going to think when they see AC? Like, they can still think that's a guy. And it never occurred to me that I was just like, I just knew I didn't want artists on the book. And so that's how I came to be AC. My father is still a little salty about that.
That is like, I named the artist. They need to call
like, I don't know what the problem is. Like, I don't understand. But it's a hard, you know what? I was just telling somebody, I went to get blood work a week ago. And she said, oh, that's such a pretty name. And I said, thank you. I said, it took a long time for me to appreciate it. So as a child, kids are very, very cool. And so it was always hard in school having a different name. And then teachers would, mispronounce it. And so it was always hard. Like first days of school, that first week of school was always hard because the teacher be saying crazy stuff. And then the kids in the class be saying stuff. By the end of the year, it was like old. And so nobody really dealt with it. So I didn't really like the name until I was a whole adult.
I get it.
And now it's my friend.
All right, I can understand now, but it's pretty and I like that. It's real pretty. I was like, what? Okay, cool. All right. Now Lacey Baker, this girl, honey. She's a Christian. I just what
Actually, you know what? The first 3 Lacey Baker books, and this name came about because my editor at the time, it was when I first started doing paranormal, and I did my paranormal books with St. Martin's, and the first 3 Lacey books are with St. Martin's, and my editor at the time was like, let's keep these separate. We don't want this is so totally different from what the paranormal is. And, we don't want people getting confused, so let's keep it separate. And my agent was like, well, let's think of a name that your last name is still first in the alphabet. So on the bookshelves, it'll still be early on the bookshelves, not all the way at the end. Right. So we came up with Baker. I really wanted Whitney. I really wanted Whitney. And my agent was like, no, let's try something a little lighter than Whitney. I was like, man, I was liking Whitney, but so we ended up with Lacey. And those first books actually weren't as sweet as the books Lacey writes now, meaning they had sex on the page.
Okay.
In those early Lacey books. And the biggest reason that sex is not on the page now is because Lacey's last few books have been with Hallmark.
Yeah.
And clearly you ain't having no sex with Hallmark. So.
Not at all, honey. Not at all. That is so crazy. I was looking at that, and when I saw your novels, I was like, okay, so I saw the movie. It was the Gingerbread House.
A Gingerbread Romance.
Yeah, I love Lacey. What's her name? Her name is Lacey too.
Tia Mowry, the one who played in A Gingerbread Romance.
That one, yeah, but there was no, yeah. What's the other little chick that's on there? Oh, I gotta get my Hallmark people together because girl, I love
There
her.
is a Lacey on Hallmark. Lacey
Lacey
Chabert.
Shabert or something like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the one you was in, the one that you wrote about. Yeah, Tia Marvin. I love Tia,
Mm-hmm.
Tia and Tamara. Anyway, so that's what's up. I like that. Now, how did you start writing the books for the movies? Because the movies come out first, right? Then you write
Mm-hmm.
like the novel
I'm
adaptation.
not the novelization for it. Yeah. So
So
I would
well,
always live tweet the movies when they come on.
okay,
And the editor from Hallmark uh, saw me live tweeting, and she messaged me one day and was like, "Hey, would you be interested in writing for Hallmark?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Hallmark, sure!" Like, sure. At that point, I didn't know it would be a novelization. I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, we're going to submit stuff. We'll go through the normal process."
right.
And so I did go through the normal process, but in the midst of that, um, she emailed one night. I'll never forget. It was a Friday night. It was like 9 o'clock at night. But I mean, they're in LA, so 9 o'clock for me wasn't for them. But
Right.
like it was 9 o'clock for me, and I was like almost sleeping, and my phone is like beeping, and I was like, "What in the
My
world?"
girl.
And so I look at the message, and it was from her, and she's like, "Hey, would you be interested in writing the novelization for this movie?" And the movie hadn't come out yet, and so I didn't really know what the process was. But then they sent me the movie, and I was like, "Whoa, I am special! I got this movie before it even comes out." So I'm watching it, and I'm like, "Oh." But now I have to figure out how to make this into a book. And like, that's not, I mean, at first I was like, it should be easier just because it's everything is already there, everything is already given to me. But it wasn't easier. It wasn't. It was a process. It was a learning process. I'm glad I did it because now I can say I did it. Like it's an
Right.
accomplishment for me. But it was a process.
Okay. Well, the process that you overcame. So
Yes. Yes.
that's what's up. I know AC Author. So AC Author, she's writes all the nasty stuff. Look.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where. You know what? She just be out of control.
Do she? I love her.
She just be so determined and just do stuff,
I love it.
and see what people gonna say.
She don't care. She just do it.
She don't really. She don't really. She just do it, and then she's like, well, I'll answer for it later, but she don't really care.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with her. She my kind of girl. That's what's up. All right, author's moments. What's your most urgent priority for the rest of the year, both in the literary world and personal world?
Sleep,
Okay.
sleep, sleep. It really is. It really is. I'm like, I think I say this every day when I get up. Oh, I'm exhausted. I am grateful for everything. I am grateful for um, everything that I have. I'm grateful for the health of myself and my family, and I'm grateful for all of the uh, blessings that have come my way as far as my career. Um, but I am tired, and so I am looking forward to some sleep for the rest of the year.
Okay, I understand that. All right, cool. Author's moments. In being a novelist, what did you learn a little too late?
Ooh, everything.
Really?
Yeah, because really, I just started writing stuff. Right, I just started writing stuff that I like, and I didn't know anything about the editing process or about the writing industry as a whole. Like, I wish I would have at least, I guess, done some more research before I jumped in, but really I didn't. I wrote these books. I had like 3 or 4 books written, and I just wrote them, and I just started doing stuff like, let's send this out, and let's do this, and let's do that. And then you get into situations like bad contracts um, and not knowing how to promote, or not knowing that you have to promote. And I just wish I had known a lot of that stuff before I jumped in.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Well, now you know. So, hey.
Yeah, now I know.
Yeah, look, knowing is half the battle.
It is.
If you could have tea with one fictional character of yours, who would it be?
That is so hard.
Not
Um,
not going to the club and chilling with. If you just one fictional character, you just want to sit down and have tea and
I think Beverly Donovan. One, because I think she's probably the only one who would sit down and actually have tea.
you know
Um,
what?
like I don't know these other women having tea, but Beverly seems like she's the one who would have tea.
Would that have in a teacup? How about that?
Right, and we would have teacups. We probably have real, china and all.
Oh,
Because I think that she is a phenomenal woman to be the head of such a dynamic family um, and to command the respect that she does
right.
from everyone in the family. Um, Even her little shaky husband who was doing all that shaky stuff. You see, she still ended up having him begging. But I'm just saying, I am very impressed by Beverly.
Okay, I get it. All right. Others moments. If you could sit down with your 15-year-old self,
Whew, Lord, child.
what would you tell her?
Whew, child. I would tell her to just get yourself together, sit down, be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. It comes. It gets better. It gets better. And I tell my daughters this all the time. Just be patient. It gets better. It does. It's hard at 15. My youngest is 22, and I just told her a couple weeks ago, it's hard at 22,
Again.
but it gets better. It gets better, and one of the reasons it gets better is because you get smarter.
Mm.
I
Mm.
absolutely believe you get smarter with age, and you have to go through all of those things at a young age
Right.
um, to give you the wisdom that you gain at an older age. So it gets better. That's what I would tell my 15-year-old self.
That makes sense. All right, cool. Dead or alive? If you were hosting a dinner party and could invite 5 people from any era, who would it be?
It's so hard. This is so hard.
It's not hard. 5 people.
I would
Any era.
invite Maya Angelou, but I would be
Okay.
really scared of what she might say
Why would you be scared?
because she is pretty candid. Like
Yes, she was.
she was not mincing any words,
Not at all.
but she had all that wisdom, and so I would definitely want to be in the room to personally experience that wisdom if I could.
Yeah.
Who else? Morris Chestnut for obvious reasons. Well, don't really have to go into detail.
We gotta go into detail. I'm with you.
That's obvious. This is hard. Whitney Houston, again, obvious reasons. Um, so hard. It is. Like you would think I could just like rattle off people, but
Yeah, because you're thinking about like if I can host a party, like who would you really want to sit down with? So that list is hard because you're trying to
I
think,
think
and it's dead or alive too. You're like, who?
Coretta King.
Mm.
Because her task in life was not easy.
I still don't believe her story has really ever been told.
Right. And I think it hasn't really been told
Yeah.
because the parts that we needed to know, the parts that were her purpose, we know.
Yeah.
The things that we don't know probably had nothing to do with her purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we want to know that stuff just because we nosy.
Right. Right.
But it wouldn't. I don't believe it would necessarily knowing that stuff would necessarily change the impact that she had
Right.
on all of us.
But some people don't even know the impact.
This is true.
Yeah, a lot of people all we hear is Martin, and we know she was, only thing for me coming up, being brought up from the South, we know everything Martin. And a lot of us, because it was from the South, we knew a lot about Coretta, the other stuff. But like some of my friends that are from the North and from different places, all they know is just a picture of the funeral with her in the black veil on. And it's like, what else, like they're like, what did she do for a living? Like, how was that, of her? And I'm like, yeah, I just don't think a lot of people don't know nothing about her.
Yeah. I'm so just impressed with her whole, I feel like she lived and walked in her purpose and this is what she was supposed to do. And
she did it with grace, that's for sure.
She did it with grace and with integrity.
Yes.
And as a Black woman looking at another Black woman,
yeah,
like this is what you aspire,
yes,
to be. And obviously we have that in the living Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
But that couldn't be easy. You know what I mean? Like, I always look at these women and I feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know that I could do this. Like, but clearly, because that wasn't my purpose. Like, so no, I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this.
Like they couldn't do the stuff that you're doing, right? Sitting out,
right. I think we all have a purpose, and so I really am impressed by women who can figure out what that is. Everybody can't figure out what their purpose is. People out here running around just doing all sorts of things. Right. So yeah, I'll definitely have her.
Okay. One more. So we got Maya, we got Morris, we got Whitney, we got Coretta. Who else we got?
All right. Well, let's go with Denzel for the obvious reasons as well. I mean, Pauletta can come too, because I ain't trying to be no homewrecker. But she can sit in the other room.
Wait now, Morris got a wife?
I didn't say she could come. I can only be gracious to a few.
You know, right?
I can only be gracious to a few.
I totally understand that. That's an interesting table. That would be a table of just so much knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Because Denzel, as fine as he is, sexy as he is, that brother got knowledge beyond knowledge. So much wisdom. So to hear him and Coretta and Maya talk, and sprinkle her stuff on there, and that would be.
I'd be there all night.
All night.
I'm with you. And drinks after.
Okay, how about that? The after party, baby.
Look, the after party.
I'm with that. AC, your upcoming release. One Snowy Seduction.
Yeah.
It's going to be available the day before Christmas Eve. So they're going to be mad at me Christmas Eve because I'm going to be like, I hope they already got the cooking done or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm reading this book. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's all sex.
It's all sex?
It's all sex.
Oh yeah, send that to me now. Can you?
I mean, they just in a cabin and they don't have really nothing else to do. Like, nothing else to do. I don't do forced proximity books often. It's not one of my favorite tropes. But I remembered one that I did do, Monica Lakefield and Alex Bennett. Their book was a forced proximity. And so I wanted to kind of like revisit that feeling of, having these two very strong-willed people that cannot get out of this cabin. Like they just can't. They have to stay there and they have to figure out how they're going to do this. They were friends. So it's a frenemies to lovers, forced proximity. They were friends in college, and they were both up for an internship, and he got it and she didn't. And she's mad because he criticized her project, and she thinks that his criticism somehow sabotaged her. So she's carried this grudge all this time, and now he's all big and professional, and she's still trying to climb the ladder. So now they're enemies, and they're stuck in this cabin. And I mean, what do you do with your enemy when you're stuck in a cabin? You just have sex. I don't know how else you work that out. That's what you do.
This is what you do.
I mean, and it's Christmas, so
why not?
Why not? It's a gift that keeps on giving.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay. I absolutely love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you pick up One Snowy Seduction. Actually, you can pre-order it now.
Yep, it's up for pre-order now.
Yes, up for pre-order now. So go ahead on it and pre-order it so we can all be snuggled up together.
Yes, please do. Please do.
On Christmas Eve. AC, it has been an honor speaking with you, talking to you. We have one last question to ask in this interview. But before we ask this last question, tell everyone what all things AC, where they can find you, your social media handles, your websites, and all that good stuff.
So my website is acauthor.com. The One Love Reunion site is onelovereunion.com. I am on all social media as AC Author Books. So hopefully you can find me that way.
We'll be able to find you, honey, because listen. Yeah, but you have on Facebook, don't you have a reading group?
Yeah, so the reading group on Facebook is AC Authors Book Lounge.
Okay, AC Authors Book Lounge. So you guys make sure you go to the book lounge, you go to her website, you go to all outlets that sell books, because all her books will be there. Yep. Make sure you pick up all her books that she had that she got coming up, everything. And then make sure the One Love Reunion is next year in Colorado, and we're gonna be there. We're definitely going to be there.
I hope all y'all be there and pick up buy those books. You know, my grandchildren love toys.
She said the grandchildren love toys. I know that's right. AC, last question. If you were writing a book about your life, what would the title be?
Organized Chaos.
Organized Chaos.
Yes. You see how I already had that?
Yeah, you got that thing. I love it.
It's what my life is every day. I'm telling you, it's organized chaos.
Hey, I found that the best organization is the one that's chaos. Like
there's a lot going on, but I got it under control. It's organized. It's a lot, but I got it under control.
That's what I'm talking about. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for AC Author.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. AC, hold 1 second for me.
No problem.
All right. If you love the interview, and I know you did, please like and subscribe and share with all your friends. We want to thank AC again for joining us. It was such a treat. Make sure you go pick up her books. The ones who just came out, the ones who's coming up, and also the One Love Reunion will be in Colorado of next year. So make sure you go to the website and check that out as well. Okay, it's Wednesday. You know what we doing Wednesday? We do Wednesdays. It's Romance Wednesday. So you're right here with me, 6 o'clock, Brown Book Series. After you leave me, 7 o'clock, we're going to mosey on over to Reese Ryan's channel, 4 authors behind the pages. And after we play with Reese from 7 to 8, at 8 o'clock, we cruise on over to Cruise Radio to be with Iris Boland for Iris Moments. And make sure you also check out Sarah McLean's Fated Mate. It dropped today as well. All right, y'all got that. And also, the Raw Experience. Go to the website, rawexperience.com. That's RRAW experience.com. It's going to be an awesome experience that you do not want to miss. All right. And if you can't pay everything right now, guess what? We got payment plans, honey. I got you. We got this. We going to be there together in the place. So I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Be good. Be safe. God bless.
Open up your brown book, baby. It's for you. It's for us. The fantasies. No one can judge us. No one can judge us. This is for us. Open up your brown book, baby.